9th of January, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Well, we can
Yes, I
hear
hear.
you, Lou.
Rabbi, can you hear
Excuse
me?
me. Yes, yes, I do hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Again, let's start again. Again, Kuf Samik Gimel Siv base.
Oh, okay. Oops, I'll make Gimel bait. Okay, so it says Hama'achil la'acherim eino tzarich netilat yadayim. We said that means one who feeds others is not required to do netilat yadayim. Okay. Uh,
Meaning what? If I give food to somebody else, then I don't have to wash my hands to handle the food?
Right. If you're gonna feed, if you're feeding, for example, someone else bread, you're feeding a young child, one of your young grandchildren bread. So there's no necessity of you washing your hands.
oh, okay. Ha'ochel tzarik netila yadayim, but I guess the one who's eating needs to wash his hands.
That's right. The one who's getting fed, he does need to wash his hands.
Okay. Afal pi she'acher noten letoch piv. Let's see. Nevertheless,
Alpha P means even though.
even though the other one puts it in his mouth.
That's right. The one who's eating, well, let's say, but the one who's being fed, the one who's being fed needs to wash his hands, even though he's not touching the food.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, now that I think about it, that's a little surprising
All right.
because I would think the one who's doing the feeding would also have to wash his hands because he's touching the bread. He's got the tuma. Why isn't that a problem?
Right. Because he's not eating. So there's no, apparently we'll see the Mr. will give you an explanation of this. We'll see soon. Hold on.
Okay, let's see. Okay. V'hu hadin le'echol b'magrefa tzarich netila yadayim. Okay, so the din is that if he eats with I guess a utensil, it says kli sheyesh lo shinayim.
Yeah,
Um,
which has teeth, and you see pay yud resh kuf firk balaz fork.
oh, that's a fork.
Hold a
Ah.
fork. Hold a fork.
Okay, so even if he's holding a fork or using a fork, shetzarik netilat yadayim, he's required to wash his hands.
Right.
Okay. Let's see, the parentheses, it's small. V'asur lahachil l'mishelo natal yadav mishum lifnei iver lo titen mikshol. Okay. So let's see.
Right, and it's forbidden to feed somebody food that is not going to wash his hands because of lifting even low anything show.
Oh,
Could be a very big question. You have people coming over for Shabbos, for example, and they're not observant, right? So according to this, you're not able to feed them if they're not going to wash their hands.
right.
Okay, let's see the Mishnah Berura. Get explanations on all these points.
Okay, so the Mishnah Berura says, let's see, Eino tzarich netilat yadayim. He's not required to wash his hands. Afal pi shenogea b'hama'achal.
Even though the person is touching the food, this is the whole point. He's touching the food. He's not eating, but he is touching the food. So then why, therefore, not, why shouldn't he wash his hands?
Okay, right. The low tignu, the rabbanan nitila ella ochel bilvad. So the rabbi is only required if the person is eating?
Right. This is a kind of rabbanan. So the rabbis only required washing for the he who was eating the food.
Wow. Well, I hope someone who's preparing the deli washes his hands before he touches it. Okay. Let's see, Ted.
Probably wearing gloves anyway.
Yeah, well that's actually a good point if he wears gloves. Okay, so Ted is afal p, even though, okay. The lo plug rabbanan be'ochel ben nogea le'eno nogea. That's the levush. Let's see. So let's see. The lo plug rabbanan. The rabbis didn't plug. The rabbis didn't. I forgot what plug was again.
The low plug is they made it a blanket, all-inclusive prohibition.
Oh, okay. So let's see, be'ochel in eating, whether it's not okay, appropriate.
No, nogea means touching.
Oh,
He's
touching it. Oh, whether he touches the food or not. Oh, okay. And that's the levush, I guess. Okay, so yud, who hadin le'echol b'magrefa. And the law is even when he eats with a fork. The lo adif me'ochel machamat ma'achil ditzarich netila. Okay, so let's see. The lo adif is not necessary. Me'ochel, eating. Machamat ma'achil. What when one is feeding to
Right.
is required. He's
Same
not
halacha
required.
applies if he's eating with a fork. Lo adif ma'achel makos ma'achil certain. There's no better than a person who's being fed through someone feeding him that he needs to
Uh-huh.
wash. Even if he's not touching food at all, but someone's feeding him, he has to wash. So it's no better um, than if he is just eating with fork.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see. Yud Aleph. Lamisha lo natal yadav. Okay, so even if he did not, I guess, wash his hands, davka biadua shelo natal aval b'safek mutar. Oh, this is all in parentheses. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Ken who lefima she tzaded Magen Avraham b'siman. Okay, Kuf Samik Tet. That's where it's located. And look there. Ayin Sham. Befrat Da'alni b'Torat Tzedakah. Is that a source or something? Ufrat Delani b'Torat Tzedakah.
I mean, he says it's usher, it's usher to feed somebody who's not going to wash his hands, right?
Right.
That ubiprat ani b'Torah tzedakah v'udani ein lahachmir. The suffix, ayin sham. Meaning, if you want to give food, you want to give food to an ani, and you're not sure if he's going to wash his hands, so you can go ahead and give it to him.
Oh.
But let's say you work for a Jewish boss, and they're not observant. You want to send them a nice big challah for Purim. You can't do that, because you'll be over the Nifnei Ivra by sending him some food that he's going to eat to wash with, and you know he's not going to wash.
Mm-hmm.
Would that also apply to brachas? In other words, if you're not sending him bread, but you let's say you're giving him mishloach manos, and you're giving him nuts and fruit. Is it also a problem because you can deduce he's not going to say a bracha?
Yeah, there's the discussion. There's a discussion about that. What the halacha is lamaisa, that's another story. But there is discussion about that. Whether you can send food to a person who you know is not going to make a bracha on.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because that could be an issue just in general for giving to any kind of an organization that helps poor people.
Could be. I mean, if you're giving money, if you're giving money and other people are distributing it, whether they're going to, and there's a doubt whether they can distribute food. So yeah, there are issues involved. How they're resolved, I can't say. It's a very big subject, and I haven't really gone into the discussions about revolving around it. If you want, if I have a chance, I can look into some of what the postings say about it.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Like if you give money to a soup kitchen.
Right. Right. What about a wedding? You want to invite non-observant relatives to a wedding?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that could be a problem.
that's a good point.
A lot of applications of this point.
Wow.
I'll try and take a look, Lena, if I find some relevant information on it. We can spend some time discussing it. Let's continue on in the meantime.
Okay, so let's see. Bivadai ein lahachmir b'safek. So you certainly don't need to be strict if there's a doubt about it, I guess.
Right.
Ayin
So
shams. Yeah.
that's by giving the ani, the tzedakah. So if you're gonna give, sometimes they ask for food also. You can either give food or money to the soup kitchen. And look, not everybody is not going to wash. Some people are going to wash. So does it apply even if only one person is not going to wash? What if most people are going to wash? Some won't. What if they're not washing, but in the soup kitchen they try and encourage them, they try and raise their awareness about these halakhas, right? So they may not be doing it right now, but if they keep coming, they may eventually come around. Well, these are relevant shilas.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay.
okay, Ayin sham. Okay, b'sif bed. Okay, mikol makom tov dikishenotain la'ani shalo kiem le big they le'echol sheyomar kum notel yadecha. Okay, so I guess you're supposed to tell him to go and wash his hands, huh?
Seems that Tov l'shenosin la'ani so kaim b'gavai. Well, yomer kom nitol yadav. It's good if you are giving food to a bunny that's not going to wash his hands. It's good that you should say to him, "Come, wash your hands." Maybe, maybe he'll agree or won't.
Okay, and you'd bet we have time. It's 32 already.
Let's see, good bet. Let's see
Okay,
if we can finish.
okay, Mishu Lifnei Iver. Okay, because of Lifnei Iver. The Haina Belechem Shel Hamachil, the Lechem Shel Haochel Biyuchal Akach Beatzmo, Ein Kan Lifnei Iver. Okay. So what if the bread that
If the bread
you
is the one
feed?
who's feeding him,
Mhm.
right? That with the lechem of the one who's eating, if it's lechem of the one who's eating, yokel lekach ba'atzmo, he can take it himself. Ein kan lifnei iver. That's a general rule in lifnei iver. If they're able to do the act themselves, then it's not considered lifnei iver.
Ah, okay. Lifnei Iver. Okay. Okay, מכל מקום כתבו האחרונים דאסור גם בזה, משום דאסור לסייע ידי עוברי עבירה, בעין פרי המגדים. The Achronim say that it's forbidden to do this.
Right. So, we'll, as I said, I'll see if I can find anything to go into this a little bit.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll continue, Mr. Shem. Let's see, tomorrow, Erev Shabbos. Chumash, if you like, and not Yom Rishon. Continue.
Okay, in case I don't make it, have a good Shabbos. I'm not sure if I'll make
You
it
too.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi. Shkoyach Meir.
Look to you,
Thank
Lou.
you. Thank you, Mayor. Bye.
Okay.